How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like?
Ricky Gervais criticised the notion of woke culture by questioning the arrogance of expecting a world where everyone avoids expressing opinions that might be disagreeable or disliked. He argues that such expectations reflect an unrealistic desire for a conflict-free existence.
Yes, we have long said on this program that the greatest weapon against the craziness of modern leftist ideologies is a decent sense of humour. And in the last few days, we have finally seen the war against wokeness shift into a whole new gear as the entertainment business and the big tech billionaires start to realise that if you go woke, you go broke. And the converse is true. Laugh at wokeness, chortle at the insane idiocies of the left, and you will be rewarded. The dam has finally burst. This week, Ricky Gervais slayed the woke dragon in a 60-minute special that tore down one woke taboo after another.
Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones.
Ricky Gervais's recent special has been celebrated for its fearless critique of woke culture, taking aim at modern ideologies with sharp humour. His performance, which addressed controversial topics with biting satire, was seen as a significant pushback against what some perceive as excessive political correctness, marking a shift in how entertainment and comedy engage with these issues.
People from the trans community, of which you just said you're a member, that think that what Ricky is saying in all of that is horribly transphobic. What do you say?
Well, he said nothing transphobic in his set, actually, Christo. What he did do was hold up a mirror to the absurdities that are coming from transgender activism, the absurd things that they say, and all that Gervais did was hold up a mirror to it and reflect it back. And when it comes from Gervais, it does sound absurd and ridiculous, and the activists don't like that.
But I mean, you say activists, and I fundamentally agree with you that actually I thought that the joke he made about women saying, oh, look, you know, we're worried when it comes to male body parts being in female safe spaces. We're worried about that he's going to rape us. And he says, no, she, pointing out that the activists are sometimes more concerned with the misgendering than they are about the concerns of women. I agree fundamentally with that. But Stella Creasy is on in the Telegraph, I think today, saying outright that some women have penises. And so it's not just the activists, it's people who consider themselves allies as well as trans people themselves. And some people would say that what Ricky is doing is punching down by targeting them. What would you say to that?
Well, I just want to go back to what Stella's piece in the Stella Creasy's piece in the Telegraph. She fundamentally believes that I'm a woman because she thinks that trans women are women, whereas I don't. You know, so there's a complete difference of opinion on what it means to be a trans woman there. About punching down or punching up. Well, this is a group which seems to be able to control what everybody else thinks and what everybody else is allowed to say, and simply holding up a mirror to them can hardly be described as punching down, can it not?
What do you think is the compromise here? I mean, would you then describe yourself rather than as a woman, but as a trans woman? So therefore there is some distinction between someone who is born a biological woman and someone who transitions to become a woman. And is that the compromise?
Well, yes, I think that people such as myself who have transitioned should be treated with dignity and respect. Our rights should be upheld. We should not be treated with less favourably than anybody else. We have those human rights, but it doesn't mean that we're exactly the same as a woman, because a woman is the opposite sex. Surely we can treat both groups with dignity and respect without trying to claim that they're somehow the same.
Well, I mean, I think that it's a difficult issue to think of where a compromise can be found. But to me, that seems like the least worst option, is that if you have transitioned, you're a trans woman.
A trans woman has defended comedian Ricky Gervais saying that his jokes are not transphobic. She argues that Gervais is simply holding a mirror to the absurdities of some transgender activism by highlighting some of the extreme positions and focusing on the contradictions.
If you transitioned to outwardly appear like a man, even though you were born a woman, you're a trans man, and that would perhaps give the distinction that's required. But a lot of people would think that even that solution is transphobic.
Well, people are upset with my solutions and the things that I say.
Well, you get accused of being transphobic yourself a lot on Twitter, don't you?
Well, yes, I do, but people can accuse me what they like. It doesn't affect the way that I think about myself, and that's the important thing. I don't believe I'm any sort of woman. I don't believe I need to be treated as a woman, and because of that, my views, I think, are grounded in reality. Other people have different views.
When you say you don't feel you should be treated as a woman, you would like to be gendered as her, right? I mean, in that respect, you would like to have female pronouns. Is that a fair comment?
It doesn't really bother me what pronouns other people tend to use about me. It doesn't. I use I, me, and mine when I'm talking about myself. I think we're in a position where I shouldn't be trying to compel what other people think. Other people can think or say what they like. And as long as they're not treating me less favourably than anybody else, and people don't, then I'm quite happy to live my life and do my job.
Front page of today's Times says that the Attorney General, Suella Braverman, is saying that schools do not have to accommodate children who want to change gender, and that they're under no legal obligation to address children by a new pronoun or allow them to wear the school uniform of a different gender. At what point is it healthy to allow a child to explore? I mean, I've done phone-ins on this, and I've spoken to parents and people who've grown up themselves who have said that, you know, when they were little, they've grown up to be, you know, really butch guys, but they might have played with dolls, or, you know, there are girls.
While some activists view this as punching down, she disagrees, emphasising that Gervais is challenging dominant narratives rather than attacking individuals. She further suggests that trans people deserve dignity and respect, but also acknowledges that they are not biologically the same as women.
That have been through phases of being what we'd call a tomboy nowadays, and being given that space to just explore that, they grew out of it, and that was okay. So to what extent should you allow someone, if they want to wear trousers and they're a girl, or if they want to wear a skirt that they're a boy, should they be allowed to, and to what extent can it be damaging?
Well, I think the story in the Times is one single position which is taken. I think we can be more nuanced than the situation there. So at the moment, we seem to hear that schools can change pronouns, they can change somebody's boys into girls, they can, all those things seem to be happening. I think that's wrong. What I do think we should be saying to boys and girls is there is a uniform code here, and if boys want to wear the skirt uniform and girls want to wear the trouser uniform, let them. But let's not try to pretend that they've changed sex in the process. I think there is a middle line here, and a progressive line which we can take, which doesn't deny reality.
Because could there be harm to a child that would go on to have gender identity issues if they are restricted from showing that when they're in their child and teenage years? Could that cause more harm than allowing them to?
Well, it's what we mean here. I think we're bringing up this idea of the trans child or the trans person. I think really we'd be a lot healthier and we'd make a lot more progress if we talked about human beings. These are children who are suffering from some sort of psychological distress.
Her stance stresses that both groups can coexist with mutual respect while recognising their differences.
So yeah, you can use the word queer. You still can't use it as a noun, only as an adjective. You can't go up to someone and go, "You're a queer," but you can go, "Hear about Darren? He's queer now." If Darren is definitely bent, you can't go around just slagging off Darren willy-nilly. Do you know what I mean? You can get sued in this country for saying someone's gay if they're not, you know, which is a homophobic law, because you can't be sued the other way around. You can't be sued for saying someone's not gay if they are, which seems unfair, doesn't it? Like, I could go up to Britain's biggest gay and go, "All right, Alton," all right, and he'd love that. He'd fucking love that. If that's your game, you want to be top of the pile, so to speak. Right? I go, all right, Alton. You go, yeah. I go, ha, 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 ha. You're not a gay. He go, I bloody am. He go, I'm going to sue you. I go, you can't. You can't. He go, but know that I am gay. I go, I don't believe you are. He go, well, come on with me and see the shit I do if you don't believe me. Of course, the word queer has changed. Again, traditionally, the word queer used to mean someone who was attracted to the same sex as themselves, a gay man. Now, the word queer can mean a straight man who wants some attention. I'm all queer now. Are you? Yeah, I'm right queer now. I am. Are you? Yeah. What about your girlfriend? Yeah, she's queer and all. We're just two queers queering each other up. Suck a cock? Nah. No, didn't think so. I'm not that sort of queer. What sort of a queer are you? Dyed my hair blue. So did my grandmother, and she fucking loved cock, so what are we saying? I have no evidence for that. We never had that conversation.
Ricky Gervais uses humour to highlight the complexities of modern gender and sexual identity labels, particularly the evolving meaning of terms like queer. He points out the contradictions in how society treats these labels, especially in terms of language and legal boundaries.